Well, finding a doctor who takes your insurance and scheduling an appointment, as you know, it can be a time-consuming and stressful process. Our next disruptor is trying to take the hassle out of healthcare. CNBC's Julia Borston joins us right now with Inside ZocDoc.
Two of the biggest CEOs in tech, Jeff Bezos and Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff, are betting that startup ZocDoc will change the way people find and book doctors. The service allows people to search for doctors based on location, specialty, insurance, and reviews, and book them online. Now in 20 cities, more than 1.5 million patients use the service for free to find a doctor or dentist each month. Doctors pay a subscription fee to help fill the 10 to 20% of appointments canceled within a day or two, making their practice more efficient. ZocDoc has raised nearly $100 million, including $75 million from DST and Goldman Sachs last December, giving it a $700 million valuation.
Joining us right now, the founder and CEO of ZocDoc, Cyrus Massoumi. And Cyrus, thanks for coming into set today.
Thank you for having me.
I have to say, when I first heard about the concept, it seemed like, wow, great idea. Why didn't somebody think of this sooner? The idea of trying to get to a doctor's appointment, how long is the average wait time for an individual who's just trying to go through a doctor's office?
So across the country, the national average is about 20 days. So it takes people 20 days on average to see a doctor when they need one. In some places like Massachusetts, it's as high as 50 days. So ZocDoc, we've turned that around, and we actually can get people in to see the doctor the same day, if not the next day.
This came because you had your own issues flying cross-country. You got an ear infection?
Absolutely. I was flying from Seattle to New York. I had a sinus infection. I ruptured my eardrum, and I needed to find a doctor on short notice. I went to my insurance company website, which a lot of people would do if they needed to find a doctor and they didn't know one, and it took me 4 days to get an appointment. I thought there had to be a better way, and so I sort of racked my brain, and I thought I'd do everything in my life on the internet, from buying my travel tickets to buying my groceries to even buying my underwear on the internet, and I couldn't get a doctor. It seemed pretty backwards. So I went to one of my colleagues who was a physician, and I said, why don't we start this company? And he said, absolutely. So we quit our jobs and started almost 5 years ago.
How does it work? There are obviously a lot of inefficiencies, particularly for doctors who have smaller offices. How do you take advantage of that?
So if you think about it, scheduling in a very fragmented market is incredibly inefficient. So from a doctor's office perspective, doctors have 10 to 20% of their time a last-minute cancellation. So many of us when we want to find a doctor, we can't find one. Yet there's doctors somewhere that have open appointments we just can't get access to. So what we do is we integrate to the doctor's calendars. So we know within real time, within seconds, if there's an open appointment. We feed that time to the internet, and people over the web or over their iPhone are able to access and see the inventory of appointments. They can sort doctors by which insurance at the plan level. You can see pictures of doctors, read reviews. And all you need to do is click on a single appointment time, and within a few seconds, you have a confirmed appointment. It's completely free to use for the patients, and they get access to healthcare 24/7.
What do doctors pay to get into the system?
Yeah, so doctors pay about $300 per doctor per month. And it's a flat fee. They use it for all their existing patients. They obviously get access to new patients. It's a great win-win for everyone.
How many doctors are in the service right now?
So we actually, being a private company, we don't talk about that because it's a direct line to revenue. But what I'll tell you is that it's growing triple digits literally every 6 months.
But if I'm a consumer who's trying to use it, am I going to be able to do it only if I'm in New York or if I'm in Seattle? Or
So we're in 20 markets, 20 of the largest markets in the United States. We're planning to be across the entire United States within the next 12 months.
Okay. And you have big guns like Bezos. I mean, Jeff Bezos is one of the smartest people probably on the planet.
Yeah.
If you have him buying into it, what does that do for you in terms of trying to get investors to take you real seriously?
Well, obviously, they're great people to learn from. So we figured, what are the, if you feel like Jeff Bezos obviously revolutionized e-commerce, Mark Benioff revolutionized the software industry, Peter Thiel revolutionized many things, including consumer finance with PayPal, and they're all involved in our business. Gary Milner revolutionized venture capital. And so for us, we're thinking very big. Healthcare is a $6.7 trillion industry globally, $2.7 trillion in the United States. And we sit between the patient and the doctor in this industry, and there's so much room to innovate. There's so many things people have hoped for in healthcare.
I think it's worth pointing out the kind of macroeconomics of this, which is you've effectively expanded the supply of doctors.
Absolutely.
By getting rid of the downtime and the wasted time, which has price effects and everything else like that.
Well, and it's a huge impact of healthcare reform. Despite whichever side of the aisle you sit on, most people agree there's going to be a spike.
We need more doctors.
We need more doctors.
And we need more technology to help wipe out some of the inefficiencies too.
Problem. Why is it so hard, though? I mean, is it because what percent of it is that the doctors are not efficient in scheduling their time?
Well, you know, I would, if I was to use the travel example, imagine if you had to book a travel from New York to Boston, a flight. And instead of going to Expedia or even the Delta website, you would have to go to each individual plane.
Airline.
Each plane. And call each plane. And
right.
they're all small planes. And you have to call each small plane to see who's got a seat. And how inefficient that would be. And you can't use the internet. You have to use the phone. And that's what people were dealing with in healthcare beforehand, and that's what we've helped solve.
Cyrus, I want to thank you very much for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Good.